Hello and welcome to the January 5th, 2024 episode of Watching the Tape. 2023 is in the books, and for this first episode of 2024, I thought I'd take a look back at the final score for the so-called Magnificent Seven stocks, those being Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Nvidia, Facebook, and Tesla. Those seven stocks were up between 49% and 239% on the year. Here we have those seven companies listed by market capitalization from largest to smallest. Nvidia was the top performer, logging a return of 239%, and Apple brought up the rear with a mere 49% gain in 2023. These seven stocks were also the seven largest companies by market cap in the US, accounting for 28% of the S&P 500 index's weighting at year end. So naturally, their performance had a significant impact on the S&P's return in 2023, which was a great year for the index. It was up 26%. While this is all very interesting, what do I want you to take away from this video? And I have some thoughts here. We should not forget that these seven stocks were far from magnificent just 1 year prior in 2022. Let's revisit the table from earlier and add a column showing 2022's stock performance. Simple math reminds us that if a number declines 50%, then it has to gain 100% to be back to flat or even. So if a stock price falls 50%, like Amazon's did in 2022, it would have to have gained 100% in 2023 to be back to flat over that 2-year period. As you can see, it did not, and as a result, Amazon is down 9% over the most recent 2-year period. Amazon was not alone in actually having a negative return over the past 2 years. Google and Tesla were in the same boat. So of these seven incredibly hot stocks in 2023, 3 actually had negative returns over the past 2 years. 4 have had positive returns, those being Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, and Facebook. And if you look a little bit more closely at Facebook's performance, it was just a little bit better than the S&P 500, but with a heck of a lot more volatility, meaning that the roller coaster ride was a lot more nerve-wracking. So yeah, there might be a temptation to think that it couldn't have been that hard to have just picked these seven well-known household name stocks and just have ridden that wave. And maybe some people are kicking themselves. But when would you have bought in this hypothetical? The Magnificent Seven were down a simple unweighted average of 46% in 2022, and then up a simple average of 112% in 2023. The 112% sounds great. The negative 46% does not, and is simply too much downside for any investor over the age of 40. Investing in a diversified basket of stocks is already a wild ride, as we've seen in the performance of the S&P 500 over the past couple of years. But history has proven again and again that owning a diversified portfolio of publicly traded stocks like the S&P 500 has been a great way to grow wealth over the long term. I wouldn't think it would be too wise to own a small subset of stocks and hope you get lucky. The upside is tantalizing, of course, but the downside can be catastrophic. That is it for this week. Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2 weeks.